Alright, welcome to another unboxing video from Watercolors Aquarium Gallery. I am by myself today. COVID numbers are getting a little high in our area, so we are making a stronger effort to distance even from each other in the store. We've kind of been sheltering together since this started, but trying to keep our risk really low here. So you're stuck with me, sorry. But today we're going to do some plants. This is mostly a restock, but there's some stuff here that I haven't seen ever, actually, I think. Hopefully. See what we got? Alright. Right on top are some HARBICH swords. This is a new sword to me. I've never even heard of it before, but it's got some wider, rounder leaves. Sort of similar color to like an Amazon, but much different leaf shape. These are still the immersed, but even the submerged form still has that kind of similar leaf to it. These came in beautiful. What's next? Oh, these are sparkle swords. These we have had before. They're not quite variegated, they're just sort of lightly speckled. Sort of a really interesting, different texture to a plant. Yeah, these will have a little bit more elongate leaves as they transition, but you can definitely clearly see that patterning on them already. Those are exciting. I love when they have these ones. Plus they're called sparkle, and that's pretty cute. Alright. Looks like, I think these are the 3 sword species we got. Oh, no, there's still another one in here. This one is an ATLANDSBERG sword. This is a sword that can get a little bit redder. And it's just beautiful. They had a lot of swords on this one that we don't get that often. There we go. Yeah, those are starting to red up a little bit already too. You can definitely see it on new leaves. That's usually where color starts coming out first. And all these should have pretty similar care. Give them some light, good medium light. Give them really rich substrate. They'll soak up a ton of nutrients. Root tabs are almost essential for pretty much any swords in my opinion. These are ruffle swords. They're little right now, but you definitely can see that little ruffly texture that'll just get more dramatic as the leaves soften up a little bit underwater. Really nice. Beautiful. I like that one. Alright. Looks like we are on to stem plants, which if you're going to get color in your tanks, stem plants are really the way to go. And really when we're talking about aquatic plants, when I say color, I mean red. Green is a color too, but red just seems a little flashier. This is AMMANIA GRACILIS. This is a plant that I think should probably be more of a staple than it is. That pink color that it can get is gorgeous, and it doesn't take a lot to get there. They're green right now in the submerged form, but even in our lower light tanks, they'll still get that pinkish. They still want probably a medium light to truly be happy. This LUDWIGIA PERUENSIS, on the other hand, is going to need high light, and really, why grow it anywhere else when you can get this really rich, dark, burgundy, beautiful color, long leaves. I love this plant. That's definitely been one of my favorites lately. Definitely worth having the light to get color like that. Let's see what else. Any more stems? LUDWIGIA OVALIS. For whatever reason here, OVALIS seems to be an easier to grow plant than Repens. And I think that just might be the hardness of our water. But OVALIS has been for a long time the staple LUDWIGIA in our store. Doesn't need a ton of light, but if you give it a little bit more, it'll reward you with a really good reddish pinkish color. And I think it can even grow a little bit floating in the water column. At least according to a plant first kind of. Cardinal plant, really cute. they come in this bright purple. I've rarely seen anybody hold on to it, but with high light and CO2, it is possible. Even in lower light tanks, it gets that really cute round leaf shape. They tend to stay a little bit lower and fill out leaves down by the substrate level. So great mid-ground filler plant. Oh, I got a couple of these. This is a Borneo fern. It's not a true aquatic, but they were cool enough that I thought it was worth trying them in backs of filters and that kind of thing. Because it's a really beautiful plant. It kind of looks like halfway between a bulbitis and a java fern. And I think it might have some uses, but if you tried to grow it underwater long term, I don't think you'd have good results. Just one I wanted to play around with. Next, jungle val. I've seen jungle val much longer and much wider leaf than this. It just depends on growing conditions. This does seem to have a little bit of that reddish in it that you can get out of jungle val sometimes. But yeah, just kind of a good hobby staple. Great hiding places for things. I've got a huge one in my puffer tank, and that's where he spends most of his time lurking, which is pretty much all the time. Golden Anubias nana. I would not really call this color gold. I would call it more like lime green. But in comparison to that darker leaf that Anubias barteri usually is, it definitely does have some more yellow to it. I don't know. I wasn't sure how I would feel about this, but it is just a really nice bright color. And we got some last time and they went really quick, so clearly other people like it as much as I do. Dwarf hairgrass, ton of it. Doesn't necessarily look like it out of this bag, but if you were to split this up, this would be like a massive dwarf hairgrass. Good highlight carpeting plant. Probably gonna need CO2 with that one. But oh well, you do with most carpeting plants anyway. All right, these were the ones that I am very excited about, and dang, these look crazy. If you've been to the store, you would have seen in one of our displays, we have this massive plant. I kind of like to call it Medusa. Huge, kind of ruffly, cracking tentacle leaves. That would be Crinum natans. Crinum calumnistratum is a little bit better known and fits a little bit better in most tanks, but Crinum natans gets bigger, gets wider leaves, and it pretty much fills that 100-gallon tank. With the way that it grows, it doesn't fill it so that you can't add other plants, it just visually fills up that whole tank. And look at these bulbs that we got of it. I was expecting, honestly, tiny little babies. With the way that Crinum leaves grow, this could be a massive plant in no time. So these are, I mean, it looks like a root vegetable, but these tubers are unreal. I don't even know. I'm pretty looking forward to experimenting with some of those because these came in wildly better than I was expecting. But definitely a fun plant to experiment with. The Crinums that aren't calumnistratum are definitely underrated. And that's not the only one that we got. This is one that I have never seen in person before. This is Crinum THAIANUM. So you can see this one actually has a little bit more leaves on it. Smoother leaf, not as crinkly, but still nice and long. And we'll get that same sort of length and density as the natans gets. Yeah, I'm really happy with how these came in too. You can definitely see though, like when you look at this bulb, why they're called water onions, because this looks like I could just take a bite right out of it right now. But yeah, so I think that's all I've got for you today. Come in and check these out. Well, I'll be putting in these in tanks right away, and I definitely have some work ahead of me. So come down to the gallery and see them. Send me a message if you need to put anything on hold, or if you have questions about any of these plants. Be sure to subscribe to see more videos like this, and leave us a comment below. hopefully we see you soon. In the meantime, have lots of fun and keep those hands